Hey everybody, and welcome back to another lecture with Coding with Roby. And in this lecture, we're going to do Code Cleanup Part 2 for our full stack application using FastAPI. Now the first thing we need to do is head over to our auth.py file and scroll down until we see Get Current Exception. Now this Get Current Exception is a function that we created, and it no longer exists due to us deleting it in the last video. So we're going to make this just an HTTP exception. So we're going to say HTTP exception, and as the parameters, we're going to say status code equals a 404 and details are not found. Okay. And that covers all the changes we want to make in our auth.py file, so I'm just going to save this. And now in our main.py file, we want to make it so all URLs that are just slash, so not slash to-dos or not slash auth, redirect to our to-dos route. Now, if we remember correctly, our to-dos.router starts with the prefix of slash to-dos, while our auth.router starts with the prefix of slash auth. So if we go into our URL and we just say localhost slash, it actually just returns a error because there's no page on just the normal URL. So I'm going to make sure all just normal URLs redirect to our slash to-dos. To do this, we need to do two imports, which we've done in our last two videos, which is import status and our import redirect response. And now, right under our app.mountStatic and before our app include routers, we want to create a GET request, which is we're just going to call root. So we're going to say @app.get and just with a slash. And then async def root. And then we're going to return redirect response to our URL of to-dos with a status code equal to status.http 302 found. And then I'm going to save this. And then our last change is going to be in our navbar.html, where currently in our href for our home, we have it redirecting pretty much to nothing. We want to make sure this redirects to slash. And I'm going to save this. So this is going to redirect to our main.py file of slash, which is going to redirect to our to-dos. And once in our to-dos, we already know that we have a slash to-dos call somewhere in here. Right here we have a slash, which is going to be with the prefix of slash to-dos. So this is actually slash to-dos. And if the user is not valid, we redirect again to auth. So there's kind of a double redirection happening. Slash will bring us to slash to-dos, and if a user isn't signed in, slash to-dos is going to redirect us to auth. We can see this in action, but before we do that, let's open up our file directory of our project. So the first thing I'm going to do is close our project, and I'm going to open up our file directory of our project. Now the reason I'm doing this is this to-do app is kind of irrelevant. We do not need this folder. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to grab everything inside our to-do app folder for our full stack application and drag it just into the parent folder of our project. Then I'm going to jump back into our FastAPI, and I can now see that our to-do app is completely empty. So I'm just going to delete this to-do app. Then I'm going to jump back into PyCharm, and we can see that our to-do app is completely removed. All right, so we did four things actually. We have changed our auth.py file to return a HTTP exception. We changed our navbar to now return back to just slash, and we added main.py, which is going to be a slash that redirects to to-dos. And we removed the todo.app folder. So we can see that in our FastAPI application, we have our API env, and then we just have all of our files kind of just within that parent directory. Let's see it in action. So we don't need a cd into to-do app anymore because that does not exist. So let's just type in uvicorn main:app -- reload. We can see our application has started up. So let's open up our browser where we can see it's on auth. If I remove this completely and I just press enter, it's going to redirect to auth because our empty URL is going to redirect to to-dos, which is going to redirect to auth. Let's type in coding with Roby, password test 1234, exclamation mark. Once we're here, if we remove this now, we can see it just redirects to to-dos. If we go into edit or eat breakfast and we're like, actually, we don't want to do anything here, and we click home, it's going to redirect us right back to to-dos. So our application is now even better than it was before, with our URL now doing proper redirects, and we now have buttons working in the nav bar. It's just a much, much better final application. Well, this wraps up this lecture of Clean Up Our App Part 2, and I will see you in the next video.